As it gets. Or I could always like tweak it.
Let us not act like we're special and let us
When-
just fit in and be like everyone else.
Because that copies people.
Hey, let's just be like everyone else. So we stop pretending like we're special or like we are coming up with a new idea. We have no ideas, in fact.
So today I went.
You want?
So today I went out and I found this. Right. Very interesting. You should get it. What were you saying? You were saying this like you should you should read this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the person telling you to read this or to use this book, this is like a journal, yeah?
Yeah, it's a journal. You first have to read. Apparently.
It's a journal, but the truth is you have to first read the book, which is The Alchemist, but by Paulo Coelho, for you to probably do this, but you're dealing with a retard.
Yeah, stupid. So in life it's simple, right? You wrote dog shit in it. So this is a journal, and inside the journal, right, there's a couple of questions, and I don't think you actually need to read the book to answer the questions. I mean, you can just sit down and like internalize. Like there's a question, right, and then there's a quote, right? So you can internalize, read, and think about your own life, right? The book is basically giving you someone else's point of view.
But it's based off the book. I'm like, why are you half-assing it when you can just buy the book? Read
Yeah,
the
but the geniuses has everything, bro. Like we're not about to go buy a book to write a journal that is about me. I can just answer these questions. He always disagrees.
And on that note, if we could have more of these, we are thinking of calling it like the wise one and the fool, and you guys can decide who the wise one is.
It's not this guy the fool, bro.
Part of it is experience, and then there's youth exuberance.
This guy is under the assumption that I don't have experience when I probably have more experience than him. It's just that my way of seeing things, I'm a dreamer, I'm a believer, let's go out there and do it. And he's you know what? It's not gonna work. You know what? Ruto is inside. You know what? There's no money. He limits us all, guys.
No, it's not limiting. It's I'm not saying always be realistic, but I'm saying sometimes you should bounce things off other people who probably have a certain level of experience. I think some of the things you say are coming from ignorance more than
What ignorance? What if I've experienced it and I just believe that there's a way that is better than the other way? What if I believe
I
that?
agree there's always a way that is better.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes you say things out of let me just put it as ignorance, bro.
Like what?
Like you assume that things are all flowery and
Me! I'm
Yeah.
the most pessimistic person you know.
uh-huh.
But at the same time, I have hope.
So this guy just said he wants to save the world.
I want and don't misguide them, right? And don't misquote me. I want to save the world, right? Sure, but then not in a way where I'm not Superman, right? So what I mean by I want to save the world is there are certain aspects of the world that can actually be changed, and I feel like the only reason they are not being changed is simply ignorance. Something like United Nations, like we all know, United Nations have a little bit of they have ups and downs. We will say it like that, right? But the law on soldiers not being allowed to intervene in other people's matters, it first comes from law of sovereignty, right? And the law of sovereignty, basically, a state is sovereign, so it should make its own decision. So other international actors have no say in what's happening in the world. So that's why we say that the UN soldiers are basically just observers, right? Now, in certain critical look at him,
Yo,
look at him,
speak,
look at him.
man.
In certain,
Speak to your people. Like, there's no way you're convincing me. Convince them.
in certain critical aspects, right? In certain critical aspects, I feel like maybe the law should be tweaked a little bit to allow these soldiers to intervene. That's it. That's the type of changing the world I'm trying to bring about. Not that I'm going to make it green. I can't.
Okay. My opinion or my advice to him was, if you intend to change the world, you could actually just buy a piece of land, buy an island, help the ones you want to help, and hope that those you help will help others, and eventually that's impact.
You see now.
It's not unrealistic to want to change the world, but it is ignorance assuming that people are not changing the world already. That's my opinion.
How are people changing? If people are changing, we should see a little bit of, a little bit of changes here and there. Like, look at Sudan, look at Congo, look at Palestine and Israel, look at Ukraine and Russia.
So you think
There's so many conflict that
think-
shows that the world is not really. At the end of the day, I'm a humanist, right? I wouldn't want people to suffer, right? Like, there are sufferings where I really feel like should not be allowed. Like, killing kids, that shouldn't be allowed. Regardless of interest, regardless of what. Find a way to do your things without involving children inside, right? So if people were changing the world, as you are saying, we wouldn't see such things. We wouldn't see kids getting bombed. We wouldn't see kids being raped. We wouldn't see kids being hanged on a tree by their elbows. We wouldn't see that.
I'm not saying kids should suffer, and I'm not supporting it. I'm just saying that it is ignorance to assume that there are not people in those same environments who are probably doing the work to change that. And even then, as you've stated, you are not seeing people changing the world. But you see, it is the little impacts that they make that eventually can change the world. And the world might be one person, it's not the entire world. So it's not that it's unrealistic, it's that if you're targeting the world, it's fucked up. If you're targeting someone, you've already impacted their world, and they'll probably impact someone else's world. So that's what I'm saying. There's experience and youth exuberance.
Okay, you see now, this is where I catch you, man. He's talking about experience. This guy has never gone to a charity event, bought shoes, bought clothes, bought that, and give it up. I've done that multiple times. I've done that multiple times, and throughout the multiple times that I've done it,
let's talk about
I do not think that's how. I mean, you are making an impact. Don't get me wrong, but you're not really changing it.
So the fact that
wait. If anything, you are getting these people, these kids, right, used to handouts.
You are, by giving them charity.
What? No. But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not changing the world.
But you are the one doing it.
No, but you're saying you. No, I'm quoting you.
If
when
we
you
go
say,
back, you just say,
no. Hold on.
I
guys.
am the one who doesn't participate in charity.
I'm quoting
you. Do.
Listen,
So who's giving handouts?
Listen, I'm quoting you on the part where you say that helping one person changes things, makes
For their
impact.
life, it changes their world.
I don't think, honestly, personally, right, after doing these little charity things for a little while, working with little NGOs here and there, I don't think it's changing anything. I'll be really honest. I'll be really honest, guys.
Hold on.
I do not think it's changing anything.
So why do it?
Because I don't want them to suffer. You don't want them to suffer, right?
So if it's not changing anything, why do it?
No, if it's not, now you're not doing it to change the world. The part of it changing the world didn't come from me. It came from you saying that these little gestures impact them, and then impact someone else, and then
that's how you change the world.
The broader aspect is changing the world, right?
No,
that is not my vision, and that is your vision. My vision is they are suffering, so you're helping them. But if I'm to put it in a broader perspective, right, that is not how I'm gonna go about it personally. You go at the root of things, right? And by giving these kids things, you're not going at the roots. You're just easing their pain.
So give them nothing is what you're saying.
No. yeah, bitch.
No. In fact, I'm not against charity. I am not against going out there to help people out. I'm for it. I'm just saying in the on the broader perspective of what you just said, that you would want to help people or change the world, my thinking is you start by impacting the one person you can impact, and eventually that impact grows. It could be you grow financially and you can impact more people, but there's also the element where by impacting this individual, you've also impacted them and probably maybe their future self or their future generations, and that's how you change our world.
Okay, now
That's my
in that aspect,
perspective.
right?
But for you have to
wait,
go and
hold on,
change
hold on,
UN.
hold on,
In
hold
fact,
on.
you're going to
that's
change
the thing.
UN.
You
Then
change the institutions. You change how the institutions operate, so that on a long term, it's not going to repeat itself.
But do you think the institutions are meant to change
The institution can be
currently
changed.
as they are? Do you think they are meant to?
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's very hard. It's gonna be close to impossible. But that's the only thing that's going to change the systematic bullshit. If we're going to just impact one's life, it's never going to, it's never going to stop it at an institutional level, right? And guys, let's not forget, this guy talked about experience, right? So what I'm talking here is, you see, here I have the experience and the hope and the dream, because
You have
I do
experience from where?
I do go out there, give people what I can. If you go to Sarit Mall, bro, all these mothers there, they know me. Because every time, my son, my brother, I listen to them. If I can, I do to the best of my ability.
Because you're
If I
fucking
can-
foreigner, bro.
It's not because I'm a foreigner, I'll do the
Because-
same
because
shit
you
in my
sound-
country. I'll do it everywhere. If someone tells me they don't have, I'm just gonna listen.
No, all of us do, but
Are you
at
niggas
some
don't
point,
give?
at
Kenyans
some
don't
point,
give?
we do give.
I've never
We
seen
do give.
bongo.
We do give. So you think they're probably in the streets hoping to get something because they're hoping to meet foreigners, or they're just hoping to meet people who give?
No, I'm sure, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure at some point they have a lot to play in why they are there every day. Because, I mean, sure, life can be hard, sure, you can beg, but then there's so much I can hear from. Like, there's a lady I met like twice, and I think she had forgotten it. She bumped into me the other time, and I gave her money. I think I gave her like 500 shillings, right? Then the next time she comes to me, and she comes to me with the same story, and I'm like, my sister, I'm not
So
stupid.
why are you complaining?
No.
It is your goal to change the world.
Yeah,
Why are you complaining?
It's not that I'm
Bro,
complaining.
stop
what I'm-
complaining, man.
uh,
If you've decided and devoted your life to change the world,
the
you better be ready.
institutional, that's the thing. I'm playing a part in everything.
So now you're
but
complaining.
I'm mostly focused
For
on the
mere
institutional.
500, just 500.
500 that he couldn't give. That's crazy. But I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that as much as I give, I'm not foolish, right? And I'm also out here working. I'm also out here trying to look for money. We all are, right? But then I'm giving maybe because maybe that's my naivete, right? In that aspect, I'm naive because I will always feel like these guys are actually suffering, even if they are not.
No, if you have, okay, I'm not saying if you have more than enough, but if you have something and you can spare something and there's someone you can help, even if it's a meal, that's okay. In fact, for me, if I'm to give, I wouldn't care what they do with it. I know there's sometimes people consider so many other things. Maybe someone is an alcoholic, and if you give them money, they'll go back to that. I mean, probably they need that alcohol anyways.
I mean, seated where they are, of course they need the
We
alcohol.
might need to cut that, but
No, we're not cutting that.
but I'm just saying, like, just give without any expectation. So just give because you have more than enough to give. There's
But
just
you
something
can't.
about it.
You can't
You
give.
shouldn't
without
be thinking
expectations.
about what they're going to do with it. Because again, what impact do you think 500 would do in their lives?
But that's
Change their
That's
lives?
the thing. You won't change your life, but at least that's a meal.
Exactly. So
Right?
just give.
And that meal is a lot. Like, Ian, if you're on the street right now, right? If someone comes and gives you 500 to buy a meal, that will mean the world to you. And I'm going to expect at some point that, at some point I'm going to expect some form of, I don't know.
Appreciation.
No, not appreciation. I don't care. I won't see you again, probably. Or maybe, I don't know. Most of these women, I never thought I'd be seeing them regularly and I'd have to always give them money. But it's a thing where I'm expecting that at some point, you get money. At some point, I see you have a table with sweets. At some point, I see you. Like, there's another one. She sells pens. And I really love that. The first time I met her in Sarit, she didn't have the pens. She didn't have anything. Right? But then,
So
she
you
just
invested.
pulled up with the... No, no.
So this is your impact to the world. You've become an investor
No,
to
it's not
beggars
about
or
investing.
something.
What I'm
Like
trying to
the
say
500 is going a long way to invest
I
in
love,
pens.
I love people who, instead of getting used to the handouts, they try and do something.
Bro, in fact, you should give if you can give. That's all I would say. There's a lot more impact you can have to that, but you should give if you can give and if you have it to give. So
But
I
I feel
wouldn't
like
I wouldn't judge anyone who probably isn't in a position to give.
what you call
Because
a
also
position to give.
the other discussion is why 500? Why not 5,000, bro?
My mom always told me if you're gonna give these people something,
Which people?
the poor ones. I mean, we are all struggling, but they're struggling more than us, right? If you're gonna give them something that they can do something with, basically.
So what does 500
Bro.
in Nairobi, bro? If
Yeah,
I give you
leave
500
that.
right now, what would you do with it?
Guys, with 500, you can buy rice, you can buy pasta. If rice can be more expensive, so leave rice. You can buy pasta, you can buy ham, you can buy at least something that would even last you 2 days with 500. You can buy potatoes. You can literally buy potatoes. You can buy plantain. You can buy a lot of things that will last you. If you feel fancy and you don't care about tomorrow, you can walk into Chicken Inn and get a 2-piece for 500.
Okay.
See?
No, I hear you. 500 isn't nothing, but I'm just saying, if you give, just give without expectation. Because all that we are doing right now is
But of course,
putting an
so
expectation.
so you think I'll give a
And
homeless
what are you going to
person
do with this
500
500?
and then expect something from them? The
Thank
only
you.
thing I'm expecting from them, if we to talk about expectations, the only thing I'm expecting from them is that over time, if let's say in a day you manage to get 2,000, I'm just saying, let's say, I'm not saying that's the case, but let's just say, at least put at least 300 aside, right? And just be like that mama who started selling her pens. I'm sure one day will come and then she'll have pens and sweet. There's
Talking
another
about
one.
putting things aside, bro. Let's tie this to like the thing you're saying about like Kenyans are just like complaining about the corporate whatever. Let's
Put
talk
him on
about
fire.
it. No, let's talk about it.
Let's go.
So, okay, this could be a personal opinion. It probably doesn't relate to everyone who's in the corporate space. But in my opinion, in the little experience that I've had, I think it is. I don't want to call it. It is stressful, for sure. It is stressful. Like the corporate culture isn't that ideal, and I also feel like somehow the ass kissing and the compensation doesn't make any sense. And in my opinion, people are valid to complain about the corporate culture in our country or generally. I think it's general world over, but it might be unique to us in a way. That's my submission. That it's tough out here. That this guy thinks if you're being paid 100K, your world should be set out.
Let me say this, right? I'm only able to talk about all these things because I've gone out there and have seen.
Seen what?
I've seen
Seen
different
what?
cultures, different places, different ideology. And you get, the funny thing, everyone, everywhere you go, think that they have it harder than others,
That's
right?
true.
But then when you put it into a comparison, when you put it into a comparison, South Africa is way more developed than Kenya, but yet I'd rather stay and live in Kenya. Why?
Why?
Because it's hard in South Africa. It's tough. It's tough in SA.
It's tough everywhere.
But if it's tougher
No,
than
of
in
course.
SA, it's tougher.
No, this
The toughest.
We aren't saying things aren't tough, and the argument isn't against tough. The argument is against. The
I'm just
corporate
saying-
culture.
I feel like it's same. I'm talking about the same corporate culture. I just feel like because I was exposed to those different, like I have examples of Kenya, South Africa, and Gabon. I am able to put myself in a position where I'm like, this is way better. I'd rather have this. That's all I'm saying, and that's what you don't want to understand. I'm not.
rather
I'm
work
not.
in Kenya.
Yeah, I'd rather work in Kenya. I'm not saying that. I'm not dismissing the Kenyan pain.
How much a month do you wish to be paid as your first salary?
But my first salary, I don't really care as long as it's something that I can eat with. Even if it's 50K, I might take it. Even if it's okay, no, nothing below 50K. No, that's mad, bro. But 50K, 60K, 80K. Hopefully, like one day I make 100. Like it's not like I'm gonna focus on the corporate aspect of things only, or the.
So for you, at what point does it make sense? Is it at the point when you hit 100? Now you are probably
No. 100 doesn't. 100 puts me in a space where I am not suffering, but I am not. Like I'm not suffering, but I'm not the richest. I'm not the happiest. I'm just there, right?
No,
I can have
100K
a
is
comfortable living.
100K is definitely better than 50K.
Yeah.
Anything lower than 50K. But I think also there's an illusion. I do not dispute that there's a lot you can do with 100K. But I'm just saying that the corporate culture is kind of stressful, and that as much as you think 100K, as much as 100K can go a long way for you, there is also the stresses of life, the pressure that is on that 100K. Imagine you are now speaking of 100K as a guy who has no responsibilities. Put yourself in the shoes of someone who has responsibilities, has a family, has
Okay,
a kid.
this is why I'm going to be controversial and mean, but you have no business having kids if you have 100K. Like I'm so serious. Look at me how you want to look at me. You should not bring kids to suffer, right? So if you do not have the means,
So 100K
let
is
me
suffering,
finish.
yeah? Now you're
No, wait.
100K is suffering.
No, let me land. 100K, when we talked about it earlier, I told you 100K is perfect for someone who doesn't have responsibilities. I didn't say for someone who has responsibilities. Remember the example was you and I. You don't have responsibilities, I don't have responsibilities, right? Our responsibility is ourselves, basically. But then for someone who has kids, that I think remember back in Chiroma I told you, I feel like for someone who has kids in Kenya, minimum is 150. And that's for one child. Not 3, not 4, not 5. Right? And that's my view. You debated, you argue, like no, but that's my view. My view is you should not bring a kid on this planet to give them less.
I disagree, because if that was the case, then so many of us wouldn't be here today because of 100K salary. And you see, there's only this time I told you about the statistics. Like there's out of the entire workforce, I'm sure it's probably less than 10% who earn 100K plus. Actually,
In
it could
Kenya?
be in Kenya.
I don't think so.
Actually, it could be 5% or less. We'll look it up, or if people have an idea, they'll tell us. But we'll look it up. Actually, you can look it up. I think it's less than 5% or 10% who actually like are earning that much. So I think it's unfair to say you shouldn't be bringing kids. I understand the approach though, that try and get comfortable before you do so, but not everyone has the same opportunities and privileges. So you're saying people who never hit 100K shouldn't have kids?
No, that's when I don't know, you save, you plan, you do something before you bring that child into the world. I'm sorry, but I do not see how I'm bringing a kid
now that's
into the
why
world.
some of us would complain about the entire corporate culture, because why shouldn't all of us be paid 100K so that we have kids?
That's the thing, we live in a meritocracy. Did you merit that 100K?
But I disagree with the kids one. I understand the approach that wait, if you can have,
let's ask
like,
ChatGPT now.
ask ChatGPT what percentage of the Kenyan workforce earns 100K and above.
In Kenya, a large portion of the workforce earns under 100,000 Kenyan shillings per month. As of 2024, about 460,974 wage employees earn between 50,000 and 99,999 shillings, while 397,541 earn above 100,000. The median monthly wage in formal employment is about 58,611 shillings, so most workers earn less than that, showing significant income inequality.
So in percentage, what is that?
Ah, got it. So to calculate the percentage, we divide the number earning above 100K by the total number of wage employees and multiply by 100. So that would be 397,541 divided by 1,467 plus 397,541. After calculating, it's about 21.4%. So roughly 1/5 of wage earners make over 100K.
It's over.
It's
21%.
21%.
Not 5. 5 is extremely low.
Okay, but still.
Yeah.
So give us the exact number, if you can, of the people who make 100,000 Kenyan shillings.
And please refer to like whatever resources Kenya uses to calculate the same.
In Kenya, about 397,541 formal wage employees earn at least 100,000 Kenyan shillings per month. The data comes from Kenya Data and Statistics, which also reports that about 1,467.97 earn between 50,000 and 99,999 shillings. In total, about 21.4% of wage earners fall into that top bracket.
Okay. So it's safe to say they're saying 21%
Of Kenyans earn 100K, right? Now, if we can now ask how many earn, for example, 150, how many earn 200,000, how many are in the million bracket, you see that it divides. As much as the rest of them don't make that much, I feel like you have a safe middle and
So
upper
only
class.
in your opinion, only 390,000 people should be having kids in this country.
I mean, the poverty rate will lower.
No, that's
You
your
make
opinion.
better education.
So the rest of the
My opinion